All righty, here we are again. I am live. Hi, welcome to Conscious Mind Tripping with me, your host, Audrey Newmont. I'm a little out of breath because I was just running around, just finished with clients, and thank goodness I set all of this up ahead of time. So I have quite an interesting evening in store for you all. I don't know how many of you are out there that are dealing with anxiety, but it seems to be a little rampant these days. Just saying. So, what we're going to do today is talk about that particular subject in a very constructive way. And I want to start with my own little story. I like to use myself as a story sometimes because I got my own stuff going on occasionally. And I am one of these people. I don't like driving in the rain. And there's been a lot of rain, and it's been coming down pretty good. And I want to show you a video because it's not just the rain, it is also this. So I was on a camping trip many years ago, and I came across a snowstorm. It wasn't supposed to snow, but it did. And I was going to go somewhere, and I was at the stop sign, and my car didn't stop. It just kept on rolling. And there was a mountain edge right here, and it was terrifying. I thought I was going to go over the edge. So I went to the store that they have up there. It's in the Sequoias. And I thought, I'll have to get some, chains for my tires. And they were going to cost a lot of money. I think they were going to like triple charge for this. So I was like, don't think I'm going to do that. And then I sitting in my car and I was like, wait a minute, I think I have like 4-wheel drive. And so I was like, I'm just going to pack up my stuff and I'm going to use that gear on my car and I'm going to go down the mountain and I'm going to go somewhere where there's not any snow. So I made this video that I want to share with you. So watch this for a minute.
Well, can I just say, thank goodness for 4-wheel drive.
Hearing if you can hear it.
Just thank goodness, because look at this. It was snowier earlier. And I'm safe and sound getting down this mountain. I'm heading to Yosemite. And it's beautiful up here, but Audrey has decided that I don't like being so cold and I don't like driving in the snow. And I'm really, 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 really grateful for my 4-wheel drive.
Okay, so my car wasn't really 4-wheel drive, but I didn't realize it until I got all the way down the mountain. And I'm going to say the other part that you can't see on there. I had a line of people behind me because I was driving pretty slow. But I did get down that mountain, and I'll tell you, I had it set in my mind, I'm getting down this mountain, and I imagined myself in Yosemite, and I did get to Yosemite, and I had a really interesting time there, and it was one of those trips that I took that I got challenged along the way, and those challenges kind of forged that part of me. So I'm going to fast forward to the other night. Well, actually 2 times in this past week where I'm telling you it's raining really hard and I got to drive that freeway. And one of them, I was leaving my daughter's house and heading home, and it was dark and it was really pouring. And she was even like, you want to stay here for a while? I was like, no. So I'm going to tell you what I do, because we can either live in the anxiety and have it, run us, or we can deal with the anxiety. We can be the adult in the front seat and we can manage it. So what I did both of these times, I'm in my car and I'm just like, thank you, first driver. I know you got my back and I know you're clearing the way. I was laughing with somebody because in the one situation, I create, or in both of them, I create a bubble of immunity around me. So I'm just literally holding that space where all the other drivers are staying the hell away from me. And I was laughing with one of my clients. And I said, it was really interesting because I had a lot of space in front of me and a lot of space behind me where you could see the cars both ways, but like really open around me. It's really important to get that you can create your little bubble of immunity. So ahead of time, I set it up for myself. Ideal. I'm not going to turn on the radio on those times. I'm going to literally hold myself in that space. I'm going to trust the first driver, be the adult in the front seat. And I have a special way of dealing with the kid in the back seat. So everybody does what they do, right? And I share this because on a level, it's silly and funny. And then on another level, it's like, these are tools. So everybody has to do whatever it is that works for you in these given moments. Hello there, Nick Newmont. My husband's watching online. If anybody else is watching and you have any questions or any comments, throw them in the comments there. So as I'm leaving my daughter's house, my grandson has a little playlist that I've created for him. And there's a particular song on this playlist that I had been listening to with him. So this is what I do. I get in the car, no radio on. I'm trusting the first driver is leading the way. And as I'm driving, I'm singing this song. Ooh, 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 ooh. Don't worry, be happy. I'm driving in the rain. I don't want to do it again. Don't worry, I'll be happy. And I made up all these ridiculous songs or lyrics to this song that I was singing to get myself through the rain. So I want you to think about, are you one of these people that with all this rain, or if you're in the place where there's snow or any of these things, does it cause you anxiety? Because that's true anxiety. And when you're being the adult in the front seat, I was literally the adult in the front seat. I'm managing it. And I am literally in my mind seeing myself arriving at home, getting off the freeway at my exit and going and getting home. So is it comfortable the whole way? No. But I'm trusting and I'm having faith and I'm literally dealing with the anxiety. So when I'm talking about people having anxiety, there is a lot that's going on right now. And there's an overload of emotions for a lot of people. And it's important to really discern, are you having anxiety or is this something else? Because that's one of the things that I see in session fairly often. And walkie-talkie, this is not a news broadcast as like kind of that kind of news, but it maybe is news for you. So you're welcome to stay on here and hang out. So when my clients come in and they're telling me, well, I've had a lot of anxiety, there's this conversation that we have and we start looking at it. And is this really anxiety or is it something else? So when you're having authentically like anxiety, there's a part of it where you are feeling in your heart a lot of emotion. There's like an overload, and people can feel in their body where they would feel anxiety. Sometimes people feel it in their stomach, they feel it in their heart. There's all these different ways that your individual body will feel anxiety. And then you want to look at the question that you're asking yourself, because remember, we always want to go back to the critical thinking. And the question is, for anxiety, is this true? So you're looking at what those thoughts are that you're feeling, and is it something that you're imagining about the future? Like a really good example of anxiety is, oh shit, I don't want to get sick. So you're imagining a possibility of getting sick because everybody's getting sick. Or you're imagining something happening with your finances. I don't want to, lose my money or not be making money. So you're imagining something that could be happening in the future. Another thing people imagine is things that go on with the relationship. So when you're asking yourself the question, is this happening? Is this true? And then the other part of it, what you're doing is this really anxiety? So when you're looking at those things that are going on for you, many times in session, I see this many times. I'm questioning the person around what's going on when they're telling me that they have anxiety. And much of the time, it's something that they have suppressed. So it can be, I didn't share what I was angry about, I'm holding on to it. And that's an overload of emotion, and it can look like anxiety. You know, when we were little, especially this younger generation, they don't get taught what their feelings look like a lot of the time. And when kids are in school, they don't get taught critical thinking. They just, a lot of the time, in fact, recently a client, we were talking about this and my story as well. When we had feelings and emotions when we were kids, it's like, go to your room, is what I was told. I'll give you to something to be angry about. So we didn't learn how to deal with the emotions. We didn't learn how to understand what the emotions even were. So when you are being the adult at this point, there's a part of it where you look at the different emotions that happen and you learn to deal with them. So how you deal with them, and this picture is the very first box in the game board. And this is the one where you use those emotions. So there's a whole page of emotions that I have in my playbook. And it's also in my book. When you are looking at your emotions, which I can't even explain to you how many times people are like, Audrey, I don't even know what I'm feeling. So there's a whole list of them. And when you're looking at your emotions, when you're in that first box, that's what I call highway hypnosis. We're unaware that we're unaware, and we're just rolling in it. So when you're checking your emotions, there is that part where you're, what is really going on with me? Am I angry? Am I anxious? Am I stressed? What is this thing? And then you're looking at what is the thought behind it. And we're in a moment right now where sometimes it is about the thought behind it. And sometimes, and this is that moment where there's so many things going on, it could be that we're just simply in an overload. I told you all last week that there is a lot of solar flares that have been going on. And in those solar flares, that creates a lot of electromagnetic energy. And our hearts feel that energy, and it's like a bit of an overload. So if there's a little bit going on and then more going on in our heart, and then we have that overload, it can be too much. So when you're in the box that is highway hypnosis, that's the part where you're checking yourself and you're literally saying something along the line of, you're looking at these emotions. It's like, what is going on with me? All right, I guess I'm just, I'm feeling pessimistic. What am I pessimistic about? What's going on here? I'm feeling ashamed. Why would I feel ashamed? So you're being the adult in the front seat and you're checking the kid in the back seat because they're the one that's holding the feelings. So when you're looking at it and you're doing the investigation, you're understanding this is something that I get to learn from, something that I get to understand and move through. So when you're moving through it and you're learning from it, then you're using that emotion. And I'm not going to go into it today, but then you're moving up to the next box, which is the pit stop. And there's certain things that you do there to be with the emotions. You know, a lot of times, and I'm going to add this next picture because it's perfect for this moment. Let me get this one off the stage and put this one on. So those emotions, I put them under the fear category, false evidence appearing real, and that's where we want to learn. We want to understand what those feelings have to teach us. To use fear as the friend it is, we must retrain and reprogram ourselves. We must persistently and convincingly tell ourselves that the fear is here with its gift of energy and heightened awareness so we can do our, best and learn the most in the situation. I love that quote. I think that it is just perfect. And so that's everything that my book is about. We get to be in the process of using those emotions and not succumbing to them. Anxiety is a really, really big one, and it is overwhelming. But again, it's the kid in the back seat. It's not who we are. So whether you're having a moment of anxiety of being in the rain and driving and, heaven forbid my car should slide off of the hill, or somebody's going to hit me, or whatever the things are that we think in any given moment, there's the part where you're trusting the first driver has got your back, and I am okay until I know otherwise. These are the things that you re-put in your mind so that you're reprogramming your mind to be moving on the road in the way that you're intending. And it's a process. Nobody ever changed anxiety overnight. Nobody ever changed the kid in the back seat overnight. It is a more and more and more learning, growing, gaining that wisdom, gaining the resilience, and being even greater as the adult in the front seat. So if you want to be in the process of that, it's in the book. You can either watch it on this channel on YouTube, or you can get it. And speaking of books, on to the next subject. As much as I've talked about Greg Braden lately, the other person that I love so much is Napoleon Hill. And if somebody had said to me, you can go in the past and you can bring anybody back that's gone, I would be like, get Napoleon Hill up here real quick, because I think he was just wonderful. See, today is my day, and tomorrow can be yours, especially when you learn all this stuff. Every day is your day and my day. By the way, I'm drinking dandelion tea. It's really good for you. Doesn't taste all that exciting, but it helps the body in a lot of ways. By the way, before I go on to Napoleon Hill, this is the picture I was going to share. I'm driving with anxiety. I have this in one of my PowerPoints, and I just think it's hysterical. But that's how people feel on the inside. It's a little crazy sometimes how we're, feeling. And that's, I think, just a great example of it. So this book, I highly recommend this book. I've referred it to many, many people, and I've read it myself a few times. It's on Audible, and you can listen to it. It's a really great actor that does the part, and it's Outwitting the Devil. So Napoleon Hill wrote this book after he wrote Think and Grow Rich, which was one of the best-selling books of all time. And many of the gurus of the moment who are, financial or success-oriented, speakers, many of them admit Think and Grow Rich was one of their big influences. So Napoleon Hill wrote that book, and it's a great book. And then he had a moment, and Napoleon Hill, after he wrote that, he had a really bad moment. He talks about it in here, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but in the process of the moment, Napoleon Hill has his own version of how to work through things. So in that moment, he was afraid for his life, and he lost everything. Here's a guy who was like, he wrote Think and Grow Rich, and then he basically lost so much. So when he wrote this book, he had a section of it where he's having a conversation with the devil. So when you're listening to it, At first, the actor is talking like he would be Napoleon Hill, and then when he gets into the conversation with the devil, there's a part where he talks like you would imagine the devil to talk. So it's a very interesting read. And the other part of the book that's really, I think, extremely interesting, when he wrote it way back in 1938 or 39, somewhere in that general area, his wife said, "You're not putting that book out in my lifetime," because it was too controversial. And so she ended up passing away. And then her sister said, "No, you're not putting it out in my lifetime either." So it didn't get put out until 2010. And somebody gave that book to the woman who made it all happen. I believe her name is Susan Lecter. And she said she read it and couldn't put it down. I believe she said she read it like overnight because it is such a powerful book. And in the conversation with the devil, there is a lot of valuable information. But for today's conversation, there's two things that I would like to share with it, because he's such a great teacher. And sometimes I like sharing my teachers. So he wrote here, "The only dependable power available to any human being, the power of their own thoughts, the only power they can control and may rely upon, your thoughts." So when I say that your heart with its feeling is where you pay attention, because that's the thing that's going to get your attention, because we'll roll around in those thoughts for a long time. So the feeling gets the attention, but the thoughts are where the attention is. So when you pay attention to those thoughts and you're doing the process of understanding, where would this thought come from? I wasn't born with this thought. I learned this thought. I learned this belief. And when you are able to then understand the belief, I was going to post another picture in here. I have a picture with the word belief in, I think, red, and then, or it's black, and then in the middle of it is the word lie. So when you understand your belief and you understand what the lie is, that faulty thinking that you've learned in the belief, there you go. You get to own your mind. So he said here, you may not be able to control other people, but you control how you react to them and their actions. This is an easy thing to say, but much more difficult to do. We need to want to change. We tend to want to change other people when we can only truly change ourselves and how we react to other people. That is a very big one, a very, very big one. People come in all the time and so did this and so did that, and they're reacting to what the person has done. And it's about them. They're making me feel however they're making me feel. In reality, nobody can make you feel anything. You have every ability to step back and own how you feel about it and what you're going to do about it. And there is a huge range of everything that you can do in those situations. So when you're taking it out of somebody made me feel and moving it into I made myself feel, and it's that kid in the back seat, what is going on here? And you're doing that investigation and you're reasoning it, logicking it, and doing all of those processes. There's your power. On to the next subject. And I put a little marker here. This is it. And this might be a little bit of a triggering one. We have an idea of what failure is. And no matter where you are in your timeline, whether you're 21, 38, 56, 70, people have a tendency to think that they've been a failure in some way, shape, or form. And there is a belief a lie, around what failure looks like, a belief around what being successful or any of those things that would make you be, in your eyes, in your perception, a failure. When you are understanding that bit about failure, then you're able to change everything. So this is when Napoleon is having a conversation with the devil. And so he's questioning the devil. And he says, is failure ever a benefit to a man? And the answer is yes, indeed. Learning from adversity is the third of the 7 principles. But few people know that every adversity, I can't even talk today, adversity, I've been talking too much. Every adversity brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage. Still fewer people know the difference between temporary defeat and failure. If this knowledge were generally known, I would be deprived of one of my strongest weapons of control over human beings. This is the devil talking. And then the question is, but I understand you to say that failure is one of your greatest allies. I got the impression from your confession that failure causes people to lose ambition and quit trying, and then you take them over without opposition on their part. The devil says, that is just the point. I take them over after they quit trying. If they knew the difference between temporary defeat and failure, they would not quit when met with opposition from life. If they knew that every form of defeat and all failures bring with them the seed of unborn opportunity, they would keep on fighting and win. Success usually is but one short step beyond the point where one quits fighting. It's super important because I can't even explain how many times I'm a failure, or whatever the equivalent of that statement is. And it's imperative to get, as long as there's breath in you, as long as you are here, even in listening to this, failure, like he said in there, it's just that ability to look at what is the belief. And it can be, like, for instance, I've had many things in my timeline where it's like, I lost it. 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 And I could have been at that moment where it's like, wow, I have really just lost it. Whatever the thing is, whether it's love, whether it's health, whether it is finances, there's all these events that take place in our life. Like even back when I was 50 years old, I could have said, I'm defeated. My body is got this thing that many times it's a fail. Literally, people will die. And if you're accepting the failure and you say, this is just it, then there you are. Many times with finances, I lost it, I lost it, I lost it, gained it, lost it, gained it, lost it. And a big moment of loss, I could have said, well, I'm just not very good at this. I can't manage money. I can't do this. And then it would have been a locked and load. But that last time was the one where it was like, I need to figure this out. What's going on in my timeline? And I did the process, and I owned my ability to learn from, why would I keep dumping? Why would I keep losing? Why would these things happen? And be able to pick it back up and never have it go back down again. So when you're looking at your timeline and there's that part, maybe you've never had that love of your life. Maybe you have not had that success with abundance, or whatever the thing is with a career. The only way that we lose, the only way that failure wins, is when we say, I can't do this, or I'm done trying, or we put that attention into whatever desperation. You have to really pay attention to where those thoughts are with it. And it's important, I can't even express, to look at the timeline and understand what's gotten you to the choice point here. Then learn from it, gain that wisdom, gain that resilience, and make those new choices. I just had somebody in today who's had very many ups and downs. And I've watched this person really, really succeed, and then not, and then succeed. So in the time today, it's like, what is now this new opportunity? And I can see it happening. I can see the wheels turning, and there's a part of it where you have to look at, what are the new actions that I get to take? How do I address that part of me that's in the back seat? Sometimes it's not the kids. Sometimes it's the person from a year ago. But you have to continually catch, what's that feeling? Sometimes with these kind of things having to do with success or feeling like a failure, we don't want to look at it. We don't want to be like, I was not my best or whatever. And so we have a tendency to push it over here and not address it. But when you can address it with compassion and make it something that it's like, all right, so this is just what it is. What's the thinking? What's the thoughts? And more importantly, I'm in a new choice point. And like this person, I gave them direction. Do these things. What are the new actions that you're taking? Take one step at a time and make this happen, because they really want some amazing success in their life. And sometimes when we have had what appears to be a failure after a failure after a failure, it's an opportunity. So you don't look at it as a failure. It's like, I didn't get the memo just yet. I did get the memo and then I lost it. And I did get the memo and I lost it. This time you take the memo and you slap it up against the wall and you own it. That's how these things work. I've seen many people have nothing, having had a lifetime, and then they have those things that they're intending. So it's important to be in the process of all of this. And now, on to the next thing. I have a surprise guest. Hey, surprise guest, I know you're watching. Come in here. We have some fun things to show you. Hello? I think he's in here. I think he's watching. Let's see. Surprise guest. Oh, there you are. Hello.
Hello.
Come on in. The water's great now that it's not raining.
Yeah. Okay.
Look who I have. It's Mr. Newmont.
Hello.
I'll take this.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't.
Because it smells really good.
I know. And there's more. Wait,
Yeah.
there's more.
Wait.
The Ginzu steak knives.
Go get him. Hey, I don't think we brought a chair in here. And certainly he's not sitting on my lap. This is my husband, Nick Newmont. I call him Mr. Metaphysical. He's also Mr. Wildly Creative these days. He has a very good time with what we're about to show you. So I call him Mr. Metaphysical because he is all things metaphysical. He is a psychic, a medium, a channel. He does really amazing high energy healing work. He's a hypnotherapist like me. And he's a numerologist. He has a book out on numerology. I happen to have it right here.
So, okay.
Wait,
So-
let me show them your book real quick first. He's so
Look at the guy
clever.
with all
He
the
does
hair.
all these things.
All right. Well, thank you.
So welcome to the show. Come on in and
Doing the book
join me
again.
here.
Why are you coming apart?
No, but I'm going to move over a little bit more. Now you move over. Pretend like you like me a lot.
Oh God. Good first part of the show. By the way, I want to share something with you
Please.
because you always like different things, and I was looking at your attention perception and I have to tell you something. Perception is very interesting, and this has to do with clients that I work with. And perception, it has a lot to do with how someone sees it. Okay. But there's another little caveat to that, because people can say, well, this is how I see it. Well, this is how I see it, you know,
Look in there.
and see.
That's how you see it.
Okay. But here's something I want to add, because, and this doesn't mean Audrey changes anything with her book and her program. This is something that I bring into perspective.
There's always things
Okay.
to add, to be clear.
And you can, like, for instance, because I am going to talk about one of these. It's like when someone looks at a crystal, okay, they can look at it from different angles. Well, I see this and I see that.
Do me a favor, make sure it's centered there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Too many screens.
I know.
Okay. I'm ready for my close-up. So perspective, and that's really important in today's world, because we can say perception, well, this is how I see it, but maybe we need to just turn it a little differently and we get a different perspective. Oh, I see what you're seeing. So keep that in mind, because it's very easy to throw the word perception up there. Okay, well, this is how I saw it. Maybe sometimes we need to change the perspective, which is a viewpoint, all right? And maybe if we just turn the other direction or look this way or look like this, we will see a different perspective.
And being
Okay.
open to that is huge.
Right. Now, the perspective I'm presenting, these are new. These, and we have a bunch of them, are Brazilian Lemurian quartz spheres. Look at the clarity along with the inclusions. And there are lovely rainbows.
It's beautiful.
I just brought one in, and the vibration on these. So why did I get them this size? You see, these are meditation spheres. These are good for you, good as a gift. I always recommend get them in pairs so you create balance. If it was a really big one, then you could sit with it. But a lot of people, when they meditate, they're down with their arms like this and their hands like this, as opposed to the ball right between the legs in the lotus position. So that's why I recommend getting two. We have these now in stock and can get more. All right. So do you remember a month ago or so that there's this video of me that got so many views? Like, where
You try to lean over, because this is new with Facebook, what they're doing. So try to be
Okay.
when you're talking, lean over.
Okay. All right. We need the red light going on the camera. Oh, I'm looking here now.
Well, I'm
Okay.
just going to center it on you.
Okay,
There.
there we go. All right. So there's this funny video of me that Audrey took where we were delivering a big crystal to someone's home. It was wrapped in a blanket, and it was Nick has a baby, delivering the baby.
And we had it in my granddaughter's car seat too. It was
Right.
fun.
Right. And so that crystal, which was delivered, was this big, beautiful Shattuckite piece. It was big. I mean, it was heavier than a baby. It was
Way heavier. It was
heavier
pretty
than
heavy.
our grandson.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I kept hearing from the source that there are more of those pieces, but not as big. And you know me, when it comes to crystals, I'm like a bloodhound. I've got to seek them out and find them out. So, and the source kept
It's a
saying,
real thing for crystals, just saying.
the source kept saying, well, yeah, there are some, but they're not as big as the other
Here, I'll
one.
hold them.
And I said, good, because I don't want them as big as the others. So this is the smallest of the pieces of Shattuckite, which the green in there is dioptase, which is a lovely heart stone. But the irony of Shattuckite, and Audrey, you don't even know this, it opens up the third eye and the throat. But the main reason for having Shattuckite nearby is that if you are a medium or a channel and you absentee channel like I do with Merlin, or our good friend Alexandra does with Golden Arrow, then what happens is that this protects you from unwanted entities coming into you
I didn't
while
know
you're
that.
out. Yes. All right. So that's the smallest of the pieces. And that one, if you want to know, that one is $400. Okay. And then, well, we have baby bear. Then we have mama bear. The next size up is Shattuckite.
Can you
see
bring it closer to there?
Get a little closer.
Oh,
Look at
that's
that.
great. Oh, yeah.
That's a great, nice camera.
I know, right?
That is a really good picture of the Shattuckite, folks. This is not common everyday stone. This one
It also has chrysocolla in it, correct?
Chrysocolla, a little bit of chrysocolla.
Hold it still. Yeah, that
okay?
way they can.
But the
like,
dark
lock and
green
load
you
it.
see is dioptase in there.
And then what's the orange bits?
I don't even know what the orange bits are. That's just part of the, that's probably a little bit of like an iron oxide that's in there. And this one is 750. All right. And then we bring out Papa Bear.
Yeah, hold it still in front of the camera close. Yeah.
There we go.
Look at that. Isn't that stunning? I just have a thing for these.
Oh, yeah. This is gorgeous. And again, this is not, you're not going to find this at your everyday discount GC Murphy 5 and 10 crystal store. It's someone like us that has some unique sources for these things. This one is 900. All right.
It doesn't show up as beautiful as it is. As pretty as it looks up there, it's actually even more stunning in person.
Yes. You have to see it.
It's just,
but the camera
gorgeous.
is catching some of those colors that are really lustrous and deep.
Yeah.
This is a lovely addition to your crystal collection, especially if you are someone who gets into deep meditation and channeling. All right. So as Audrey was saying that, me being creative, yes, there's a lot of the candles that get made during the year that are part of our regular stock. Audrey gets very involved, but at the holidays, I sort of take over, right?
Yes.
And I love Christmas. I love the holidays. And so I get very inspired when it comes to.
He's St. Nicholas.
Yes, I am. Remember, December 6th, no matter what Catholicism, the Vatican says, December 6th is St. Nick's Day. Okay. I say so, and that's good enough. So, first of all, around the time of my birthday, Audrey created two new essences. One she called Festivity. One was a little more manly. And then I got involved and I altered that a bit. And so, gentlemen, you are the inspiration for this actually, because months ago, I've actually had men say to me, can you create candles for men that are not so floral, not so flowery, And it's like, yes, I can, because I had to get the oils that men would really like. And believe it or not, we're men that have a quote unquote man cave, or, want to create a scent that if he's entertaining, is going to smell good, but not going to smell like he's like all lavender and vanilla.
Girly girl.
Right. Okay. So this one is that one that we put together, and we called it Ombre. Okay. We were joking originally about manly man, but that's like deodorant.
That's ridiculous.
So if you are a guy and you're watching and you'd like a candle that really smells good, but gives out a sort of a male essence, and it doesn't smell like a locker room. No, it doesn't. It's a good scent. This is something you could put in your dining room, in your living room. If you have a room with a bar.
Can we give a little bit of what the essences are?
Well, it's musky, it's tobacco-y, it's bourbon-y, it's that kind of thing. But not to the point where, remember, our candles, our oils are all natural, and they're made with soy. So our candles do not smell like artificial.
They're unique scents.
That overkill kind of smell where, like, a lot of times cheap vanilla smells like petroleum. Our candles don't smell like that. Our candles smell really, really good and unique and different.
Mm-hmm.
Then, all right, that we're going to have all the time now. Then, of course, every holiday season, I get involved, and it's like, oh boy, I get to have fun. And
He does have fun. He gets fun just ordering the containers.
oh yeah, and then extra oils, and even with these, we still have more containers. Like we got another style of dish that came in. Okay, so since I pointed to a dish, this is brand new this year. Okay, this is called cinnamon roll. All right, and
Hold it more still. When you're moving it, the camera can't like land on it.
okay, so but I do have to turn it. Those are cinnamon sticks, real cinnamon that are sticking out. Now, the jars, anything I'm about to show you, other than our typical frosted jar, black jar, these are cleanable and reusable because it is soy wax, which is food, and the oils are natural. They have no phthalates in them. So we did the cinnamon. The bottom part of the candle smells like cinnamon. The what looks like the cream spread,
The
frosting is vanilla, and so you'll get two different scents. And then you can, once it's done, you clean it out in your dishwasher, and you have an ice cream dish to use. Okay, so this is oh, that's really good.
They do smell really good.
Mm.
Oh, that is nice.
They give off a lovely, lovely scent throw. Then another new one, and this is espresso martini. All right, and again, we made the cream on the top. Those are real coffee beans that are anchored in there. You can see the dark part, which would be the espresso.
And those are really nice glasses too.
Really nice, and they're not lead, but they're heavy.
Yeah.
You know, so these make a nice for a smaller martini, kind of like an aperitif. Okay, not every martini glass needs to be 14 ounces, like drinking a margarita. This is big enough. And of course, the vanilla essence is right there on the top, and it goes down into an oil that's actually called espresso martini. Now, these last year, you got it. Last year, all the different candles, different sizes, they were different prices. This year, the fancy candles that I'm about to show you are all $45. Like the ombre, okay, this size or black jar, these are all 32. And when these are done, you throw them away. You can't recycle those. Now, because we had leftover wax, all right, we had some frosted glasses. So if you don't want the martini glass for $32, you can get the espresso martini and our frosted glass, and it looks cool as opposed to being in the solid black glass. And yes, you get the coffee beans, all right? It's good. Then here we go, continuing on, all right? We did something similar last year in a clear mug. This is called hot chocolate, all right? And it's, you know, like a creme brulee on the top. That is burnable wax, just a different scent. And then inside, it is chocolate.
That
Okay.
smells good.
Then in the same style mug, we did a new one this year called Irish coffee. And this is very unique. And we did some crystals. It's kind of hard to see with the light.
Here.
See that? So that looks like the
Creme de menthe.
the creme de menthe that's in there.
Isn't that fun?
And the crystals come with it. Again, we did the creamy whipped cream kind of look on top of the coffee.
We have an elf that comes in. Yeah.
This one really is coffee. Okay.
Yeah, we have an elf that comes in that helps, and she's really great at making that cream like
Yep.
whipped cream.
Right.
She's really good at that.
And what happens is you let the wax begin to harden, but not too hard. So it's kind of chunky. And then you just take it and squeeze it out on top, and it looks like whipped cream.
It's dolloped.
Dolloped, exactly. And then the other one that's new in the larger martini glass is spiced pear pomegranate with an essence of bourbon. That one is beautiful.
And it smells insane. It's so nice.
When I was making these last night, it really just permeated the kitchen and the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a really good time. And we have more glasses, more ice cream dishes coming, and more oils. So there will be more.
We also
essences.
have cosmopolitans.
We have those.
And
yes.
what's the other one? A lemon drop.
We have a lemon drop.
And that
then,
pink one.
Yeah, which is a strawberry cream.
Yeah. Oh, that
And
one smells really good. People love that smell.
And then with the new ice cream dishes, which I'm not showing those yet, but they look different than that. We're going to do Neapolitan ice cream, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
Yeah.
So these are all available. Like I said, all the fancy ones, whether the cinnamon roll, the coffee mugs, the martini glasses, they're all $45. And when you
that's a really good price.
It is a wonderful price because you're getting these glasses that are worth money themselves.
And they're just so unique. I mean, nobody's going to have them.
And there are, if you buy a number of the same, then there are discounts if you buy the same thing. Oh, I didn't bring in the cranberry woods or any of that.
No.
Do you want me to get them?
Yeah.
Okay.
St. Nicholas has been very, very busy. He loves Christmas. How many of you out there really love Christmas or the holidays, however you celebrate it? I think that's one of those things for all of us as kids. It's like, oh, I couldn't wait for it. And it's just that kid in the backseat really loves that part of the holiday. Here he comes.
Okay, so we have been doing these for a number of years. In fact, in October and November, Audrey, I think this is probably as long as you and I have known each other.
Really?
Back to when we lived in Culver City.
Oh, wow.
Is that harvest? We have done harvest in October and November in a typical jar. But over the last couple of years, this is a burnt orange jar. We keep the wax colorless. And this is the one that is a pumpkin vanilla multi-spice.
It smells so good.
Ideal for October, Halloween.
This is one of my favorites, to be honest.
And by the way, metaphysically, harvest is for the cornucopia, celebrating what we and giving thanks, on Thanksgiving. Then in November, December, see how they overlap. We continue to do cranberry woods. Sniff.
Yeah, they're all my favorites.
And this is
say one's my favorite and the other ones are.
This one is again colorless, but this is in the ruby red jar, or red passion as they call them. It's beautiful. And then when we get into December and January, then this is winter forest, and this is very snowy out in the woods, a little piney. One of the things that we pride ourselves on with this one is that it has that winter kind of pine essence, but not cleaners or artificial things where it smells like somebody stuck a pine tree up your nose.
So for those people that have like an artificial Christmas tree, you burn one of these and it gives you that essence of like a Christmas tree.
But it's also the feeling like you can smell the pine, but you're out playing in the snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is really delightful. And like I said, this one you can take, the harvest is October, November, cranberry woods, November, December, and then winter forest is December, January. Mm-hmm. So they blend through fall through winter. And as long as winter lasts wherever you live. So that's a really lovely sampling of the candles that we have to offer for you. If you are curious or would like more information, get in touch with me directly at here at the center. Call 818-865-8770. You can write in as on Audrey's show or write to me on Facebook at Nick Newmont, or email me at nnewmont@gmail.com. You can only imagine how good it smells here and how glorious our home smells. And that's even without cooking. because these things smell so delightful. They bring, the sense of smell, the olfactory is the most powerful, sense that we have. And there's a lot of memory that goes with the olfactory. And I guarantee you, this will fill your home with joy and memories, and such a lovely essence to bring into. And by the way, if you can't burn candles, then we can make these into room sprays.
Yeah, very natural room sprays too.
Yep.
And on the 13th and the 20th of December, you can come here. We're going to be having an open house, and we're going to have all of our goodies here. And for those of you that have been appreciating the crystal artwork that we do, we're going to have it available for you. You're going to get a 10 by 10 canvas. We're going to have a whole bunch of crystals on the table.
That's 10 inches by 10 inches, not 10 feet by 10 feet.
Yeah. We're going to have all these crystals on the table, and for $55, you get to make your own crystal artwork piece. So I'm going to have a friend here that's going to be helping with the direction of it. And I think it's a great gift for yourself, or if you want to give one to a friend. So we're going to have that on the 13th and the 20th. On that day, we're also going to have a raffle. So we're going to have a whole bunch of fun prizes that we're going to be giving away.
Yep.
Lots of yummy goodies that we're going to have. And then a lot of our items are going to be 20% off.
That's right. And also, and of course, I show up here once in a while, so I will be here. And I have specials regarding my prices.
Yes.
That make incredible gift certificates.
Yes. Yeah. So, Nick, we have 2 more minutes. In those last 2 minutes, how can they get a hold of you?
By my ears.
Yeah.
I just said a couple minutes ago, call the center at 818-865-8770 or email me at nnewmont@gmail.com. I am so busy, so loaded with clients these days. If you really need to get a hold of me, call the number. Don't email, don't text, just leave a message.
Yeah, voicemails are best.
That's what I respond to the quickest. That's what I get. One thing tonight, as we get close to 11 o'clock, 10:50 something, tonight is a new moon in Scorpio. Intense. Like, chill, folks. I put a big post on my Facebook page today. You might want to read it, of the do's and don'ts with this new moon. But boy, people will be like intense right now.
Yeah.
And into tomorrow.
So if somebody's being intense with you, you get to back out. Like I said before, it's not about you a lot of the time, and that's their business. You put up your little bubble of immunity like I did on the freeway. And if you're feeling intense and you got an overload of your emotions, it's the kid in the back seat. Be the adult. Use the first driver, and maybe take a time out.
Or if you really want to be intense, go camping or get into a yurt. That's intense.
Right? Anyway, it is 7 o'clock.
Thank you for having me, invade your show.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I told you I'd have a fun guest last week. Here he is. So next week I will be taking the week off because it's the night before Thanksgiving, and who wants to be watching me on the night before Thanksgiving?
Me?
Well, he will be, but not everybody else. So I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. There's a lot to be grateful for. Focus your attention on gratitude and, land with that. And I love you all very much. Thank you so much, Mr. Newmont.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And I'll see you back here again in 2 weeks. Take care. Love you guys. Bye for now.